Measurement Units, Section 5, Determining the Scale of a Measuring Device. Different applications require different measuring instruments. Using different measuring instruments, we need to determine what the scale is. And to do that, we need to find the smallest division, or tick mark. Here we have a ruler showing the tick mark on this graduated cylinder and on the sleeve of a micrometer. This is the smallest division. So to determine the scale, we follow the following procedure. First, you want to pick a convenient whole number interval, and then we want to count the number of divisions in that interval, the number of tick marks that are there. If you count, you find that there are 16 spaces in this 1-inch interval, which means each one of those tick marks represents 1 inch divided by 16, or 1/16 of an inch. So when we have a ruler that has 1/16 of an inch and we're measuring a length, we identify the inch portion. Then we count the number of tick marks or divisions to determine what fraction of an inch this length of an item is. Since there's 5 divisions past 3, and this is a ruler having 1/16 of an inch, this blue bar here is 3 5/16 inch long. Here we have another ruler that we need to determine the scale. Again, pick a convenient range that we know. Here we have a 1-inch span. How many divisions are there? If you count to the halfway point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double that gives us 10 divisions. That means 1 inch, the interval that we were looking at, divided by the 10 divisions. Each division or tick mark is 1/10 of an inch, which conveniently converts to a decimal. Using this ruler to determine the length of something, if it lands where this arrow is, we have a full 4 inches, and since we are 1, 2, 3 tick marks or divisions past the whole 4 inches, we'll call it 4 3/10 of an inch. This next example, the arrow is here less than an inch, so we are determining how many tick marks were passed. You can use a benchmark here of 5 because of the halfway, 6, 7 divisions. So we're talking about something being 7/10 of an inch long. We have another ruler here that's illustrating using the benchmarks. This ruler has indicated on it that the measuring is off in tick marks of 32 per inch span. And we can use the halfway mark, which would mean there's 16 tick marks. We can use a quarter of the way. Any one of these quarter of the way is going to have 8 hash marks. 8 and 8 is 16. Another 8 is 24, and there's our 32 inches. So here to illustrate this, instead of counting 1 whole inch and then all of the hash marks up there, we're just 1 division or hash mark from the halfway point. The landmark we'll use is the halfway point, 16/32 when we translate it using our divisions for this particular ruler, and we're 1 more than that. 1 more than 16 puts us at 17/32, and of course we would want to indicate that we are at 1 full inch and then 17/32 additional. Another illustration of using a landmark is here. Instead of, again, counting up, which wouldn't be that arduous of a task, but we are at, here's our halfway, here's a quarter, and we're 1 hash mark or division below that quarter inch. Quarter of an inch, a 1/4 of 32 is 8/32, and we're one less than that. So we're going to be at 2 whole inches and 7/32. One more example, if we look where we're at, we're just below 3 inches, and again, instead of counting all the way up, or maybe even using the 3/4 mark of this inch, because it's so close to 3 inches, an alternative might be to recognize the 3 inches and subtract the number of divisions 1, 2, 3 below that full inch. 1 is equivalent to 32/32. Subtract 3 from that, leaves us with 29/32, and of course we're beyond the 2 whole inches. So our final answer would be 2 and 29/32 of an inch. As an option, we do have worksheets where you can work with reading, steel rules, and tape measures.